proud cat lover, and welcome to the next episode of the Crested Gecko Care. So today we're going to be talking about cleaning and what cleaner is safe for reptiles. So I'm going to grab my cleaner real quick, and then I will talk about cleaning the tanks. If Ember will stop jumping all over the place, you know. Normally she's real laid back, but not today. She's on the go. Okay guys, so my main cleaner that I have for my reptiles is this Fluker's Super Scrub. This has organic cleaning materials in it. And, well, it says with organic cleaner is what it actually says. It says it dissolves organic matter, contains all natural enzymes, keeps cages, branches, hot rocks, plastic vines, bowls clean and fresh. And it says deodorizes terrarium. I've used this ever since I got Ember. And let's see if she'll just sit on top of this container here. Can you just sit up there for me, please? Thank you. So I use this to clean everything, but I really like using these wipes here to clean the tanks themselves. Now, before I got these wipes, I just used this. It's perfectly fine. I have a whole bunch of this actually mixed up in water in a spray bottle so I can spray the tanks when I go to clean. But these are actually a deodorizing cleaning wipe that's full of soap. And I actually got these at a local pet store. This I only can get at PetSmart and Petco, but this I was able to get at a local pet store. And they work really well. I actually use these to clean the insides of my baby's tanks instead of this, just because it's really easy to pull this wipe out and just wipe it down, and then of course you just rinse the container and go over it with a dry paper towel to dry it. But of course you never want to just leave the soap suds of either of these in there. You always want to use a wet rag or whatever, or rinse the container if you can before drying it, because you don't want any soap in high concentration to get on their skin. Obviously if it's this, it's going to be Rose, stop. Obviously, if it's this, it's going to be mixed into water already, but if it's these, this is like straight soapy stuff. So you definitely want to either rinse the container or go over it with a damp paper towel to get rid of the soap before you stick the animal and the stuff back in there. Now, of course, you can't really use these wipes to go over like decor and stuff, so that's why I like using them both together. One for the tank and one for all of everything else. Because when I go to clean my stuff, I'll put everything, like the branches, the leaves, the dishes in the bathtub. I'll put the drain in there, and then I'll put this in with the water so that they sit in this solution. And then I'll go ahead and like kind of move them around and scrub them a little bit, but I'll let them sit and soak in it. So with cleaning, I of course always suggest depending on age of course. Now with my babies, I try to clean their tanks every 1 to 2 weeks depending on how much they have pooped in there and stuff. Sometimes I just change out their paper towels and put new paper towel in there, because most of the time they poop more on the paper towel than they do the actual tank itself. But if their tank is dirty, then I'll just clean it. There's not really any specific time period to wait. You just kind of look at it. If it's dirty, just clean it. Of course, the babies are in smaller tanks. With the adults, I normally clean their tanks every 1 to 2 months, a real deep clean. Otherwise, you can change bedding and stuff. Unless you use Eco Earth, then you can easily just kind of spot clean their poop. But if you're using paper towels like me, pardon Rose, she's being very vocal tonight. What are you doing? Look at her. She was like standing up in the corner of the wall over there, just touching the ceiling. I don't even know what she's doing. What are you doing? She's sitting there watching me. I don't know what she's doing. But anyway, we'll just sit here with Ember like this so she can just kind of stare at you from down there. Here, you want to show off your belly? Huh? Your little spotted belly? Oh. Normally she's not this jumpy. Now tonight is feeding night, so that's probably why she's just so active. But anyway, with cleaning, like I was saying, my adults, I clean their tank every 1 to 2 months, like a deep clean. Now, of course, if you have a gecko that's not very messy, you can wait longer, because you just want to kind of eyeball it. Like, if it looks like it needs cleaned, then clean it. Like, if there's a whole bunch of poop on the ground or something, which it shouldn't get that way in the first place, but if there's poop all over the floor, or if some of their decor is getting really dirty, obviously with decor, you can just take that out and clean it anytime. You don't have to wait for a deep clean to clean that. But when the tank itself is getting really gross and dirty, it's time to clean. So you just kind of want to have one day dedicated to clean all the tanks at the same time, because if you only clean one, then you might forget which one it was, or you'll be like, man, I wish I'd cleaned them all at the same time because now I don't have time to clean those two. So I find it's best to dedicate one day, like 5 hours out of that day, to just cleaning. Because normally what I'll do is I'll start like at 10 or 11 in the morning, and that way by the time, it's 3 o'clock, I'll be done, most of the time. Sometimes I'll take a lunch break and then I'll get back to work, but most of the time I'm always done by 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Because not only are you taking everything out, cleaning it, you have to let it dry. If you can't dry it yourself, because especially like those branches, you kind of have to just let them air dry. Because if you stick them in the tank wet, then there's not really a lot of airflow in the tank versus just being sitting, in the back room air drying. So sometimes they can get moldy. You don't want that to happen. But yeah, when cleaning, you just kind of want to give everything a real good scrub. Kind of make sure all the soap residue is off of it by just rinsing it with water. And then, of course, you can just use a cleaning rag of some sort or a paper towel to dry it. Because I always dry my stuff, not all the way, of course, because you can't always dry stuff all the way. But I'll just dry my stuff most of the way, and then I'll put it back in their tank. That way, because once you put everything back in the tank, if it's all wet, it's going to raise the humidity a lot. And like we talked about in one of the last videos, you don't want the humidity to be really high during the day. Now, of course, when you go to clean, it's going to be a little higher than it should be in the first place, but if it is like, let's say, at 80% by the time you're getting ready to go to bed, and it's been that way ever since you got done cleaning, then don't mist that night, because the humidity is already high in there, and you just kind of want to let it dry out. So, but anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about with cleaning, guys. It's pretty straightforward. Just don't let the tanks get really nasty and gross. If anything is growing mold, get rid of it. If you want to keep it that bad, then rinse it with really hot water and clean off all that mold, and put it somewhere where it is going to dry before you stick it back in the tank. Like with me, I had to get rid of Eco Earth in my male Magma's tank because the branch that I had in there with him, whenever it was against the Eco Earth, because the Eco Earth was damp, it would always grow mold on the branch itself. Not in the Eco Earth, but on the branch, because the branch was touching that Eco Earth and it would grow mold on the wood. So if you have anything like that, then just change the bedding instead if you don't want to get rid of the decor. Because in that instance, I had taken the wood out and I had let it dry out of the tank for like 2 days before I stuck it back in there. And the moment it got back in there, like within that week, after 4 days of it being in there, I'm pretty sure it was 4 days, it started growing mold again. So that's when I was like, well, he doesn't need Eco Earth in there. So I just took it out and have paper towels in all of my tanks now, just because I don't want to have to deal with the branches molding. Because all my geckos, all my geckos have wood, natural wood, in their tanks. And I don't want to have to deal with mold or anything like that, so I just got rid of the Eco Earth. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day. Can you wave, Ember? Can you wave? Be like, bye! Oh, too cute.